Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Standley with Standley Handcrafted, and I have definitely bitten off more than I can chew with this candle company. Now I kind of say that jokingly, but it's also not a joke. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what's going on with the candle company, what I'm doing, kind of how it's going, the state of everything right now, and kind of the short-term future of what I'd like to see with the candle company at this point. And of course, if you're new to the channel, like I said, my name is Jeff Standley, and I of course run this channel, Standley Handcrafted, which is all about teaching people how to make candles and basically following my journey with a candle company and now a candle supply company. And I'm also happy to announce that today's video is sponsored by Dream Vessels. If you don't know who Dream Vessels is, I've featured them on the website multiple times. I've used a lot of their products, a lot of their candle vessels, a lot of their diffusers, and a bunch of different products from them. So, and if you didn't know, they're having a giant sale right now. Basically, they have a new pre-order shipment coming out in October, and they're doing 30% off of almost everything that's in there on the website, and of course, everything that's coming over in that October shipment. So definitely jump over to dreamvessels.com, take a look at what they've got on their site, and even outside of the promotion of Dream Vessels right now, I always stress this right about this same time every single year to candle makers, to everybody that watches the channel. Now is the time to get out there and get your vessels before candle season really hits. If you don't know, and if you watch this channel enough, you definitely do know, now is when stuff starts to go out of stock. And with everything already being out of stock with like shipping delays, and now that I've got a candle supply company, I'm starting to see the effects of that one a lot more with lids being out of stock, vessels being out of stock. Now is definitely the time to get out there and make sure that you've got your stuff lined up through October, November, and December, especially as it gets into later November and definitely December. Stuff is gonna start coming. Supplies are definitely gonna come up short in a lot of different areas. Right about this same time, I said it last year, I said it the year before, get your lids. Lids for some reason it's just one of those items that tends to come up missing, and I've fallen short, not last year, but the year before I came up short with the 9-ounce straight jar lids, where I just couldn't get any in like the last 2-3 weeks of December. So definitely get out there. If you've got anything that you keep on hand at all times, definitely make sure that you've got a few extra cases or a few extra bags. And of course, now is the great time to pre-order something like this. So definitely jump over dreamvessels.com, take a look at the sale, and pre-order anything now so that you are basically guaranteed anything on that shipment when it comes in. Okay, so for today's video, I just wanted to kind of go through an update and kind of get a little bit more in depth or behind the scenes on the candle company right now. So I've gotten a bunch of stuff in, I'm starting to get a lot more, and the struggle that I have right now is space. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around here in a little bit and I'll show you what I'm working with. I've got the studio inside kind of a big RV garage where I've kind of fashioned it, not well yet, because I'm still waiting for lumber prices to go down so I can actually build a nice wall back here. But anything that I've got coming in, so the wicket holders, the clamshells, of course, oils or anything like that. I've basically just been stacking this in the garage until I can get a warehouse space or a retail space, which is not going well. Now, for the most part, starting out with this, it was easy to do in like a lot of people start out in their apartments, or they go to a separate room in the house, or like a garage, which I'm in right now. And a lot of this stuff I can definitely do in the garage, but it's hitting the point, or it's already hit the point where I need to get out of this small space. And it's not a small space. I mean, this is literally like, I don't know, probably 500 to 600, 700 square feet in here. It's a pretty good sized space. And when I was just doing the wicks and the clamshell holders or anything like that, those are small enough boxes to where I could get several thousand, 10 to 15, 20,000 of those. The wicks, probably right up around 100,000 of those. The boxes were easy enough to where I could stack them in a corner, get to them easy enough, and manage just fine with that inventory. But now that I've gotten these things right here, close to 400 pounds in oils, just to start launching those, I'm starting to run out of space. And of course, when it comes to any business, you definitely get to that point where that's where I'm at right now. Is I'm doing just fine with the candle business. Things are going well. Stuff is starting to come in. Stock is a little tough to keep up with right now. Anybody that watches this channel, anybody that makes candles knows that stock is hard to keep up with right now. You get a certain amount of jars. They may be out for 2-3 weeks. So having stuff on hand at all times is definitely a little bit more difficult right now, just with the kind of the state of the world as far as like shipping, overseas shipping, customs, anything like that. And in the beginning it was just fine, but it's to the point now where if I want to progress, if I want to basically do better with the company, make more money with the company, I need to get more stuff in so that I can sell more stuff, obviously. And of course I can't get more stuff in unless I get a warehouse space or a retail space, which is what I've been doing for probably the last like 2 months, trying to find something, nothing real big, anywhere from like 1,500 to 2,000, maybe 2,500 square feet. And if anybody follows kind of any real estate out there, you know that inventory is really down right now. Housing inventory is incredibly low. Commercial real estate is being bought up by big corporations or bigger companies so that they can do stuff with it. So the smaller spaces tend to get kind of overlooked or bought up really quick. So that's what I'm running into right now. And I'm also in an area that doesn't really have a ton of spaces. I mentioned in a Facebook post, and I believe on Instagram as well, if I go like an hour from here, I work in Tacoma. So if I was to get a retail space or a warehouse space in Tacoma, they're kind of everywhere and the prices are actually pretty good. But I'm actually about like 45 to 50 minutes away from Tacoma, and it's a little bit more of a smaller area. So the spaces, of course, are gonna be kind of not as plentiful as something obviously like a bigger city. So I could go another 30 minutes in another direction. There's a few places over there, but since there's so few places in this area, the prices go up. So that's where I'm stuck right now. Is I can go to Tacoma, get a pretty big space for a decent price, but I'm gonna be driving 45 to 50, 60 minutes just to get to that place. And if I need to go there in the evenings or on the weekends, I'm basically, an hour commute, 2-hour commute back and forth. That definitely takes a lot of time. So if I get something around here, it's easy to go to, but I'm gonna be paying a little bit more. So that's definitely my struggle right now, is trying to find a place that I can get into, something that's not going to literally break the bank with me getting into it. I know in a certain amount of time that covering the cost or the overhead cost between like the lease amount, the triple net, any type of lease agreement that you have, covering all that stuff, the utilities. I was trying to find as low as possible in the beginning because I know I can cover it and then grow into it and then be able to cover something a little bit bigger and a little bit more expensive kind of down the line. And that's definitely proving difficult. So if I wanted to get into something that's like $3,000 or $4,000 a month, it's perfectly fine. There's a lot of spaces out and available like that. But I also don't want to jump into something that's $3,000 or $4,000 a month right now. That's it's definitely, I don't want that to be in my budget. I can make it work, but then again, with everything being so hit or miss with stuff coming in, like I said earlier in the video, with stuff coming in overseas, dealing with shipping, customs, or anything like that, I know I can make those numbers work if I have stock. But that's the thing, is I still don't know what stock is coming in. Like the wicks, for example, the LCS wicks, I've kept those in stock. I have another set of those coming any day now, so those will be back in stock. The CD wicks are still in stock, and the HTP wicks I'm still waiting for. And then once those come in and they start to fade out, I still have to wait another month and a half before the next set comes in. So trying to plan stuff on inventory that is, like I said, just hit and miss. Like it could be another month or even 2 months before I see some of these products again. And depending on how quick I sell out of those, I'm leaving myself wide open for a couple weeks or even a month with basically just not guaranteed inventory, not guaranteed income, which is where that $4,000 price tag for a warehouse really starts to make me nervous as hell. And that's where I get back into getting something that's just small right now that would kind of house exactly what I need to. If I get something that's around like 1,000 or 1,500 square feet, I know right now, even today, I know that I need more space than that. I can get by with it, but I know it's gonna be way too small within 3 to 6 months. And that's where I struggle again, getting something that's a little bit too small and a little bit less expensive, is because I know I'm gonna be growing out of it within a short amount of time. So I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot both ways. It's like, what risk do I take? And then of course, bouncing between these two, like I said in another video, I'm trying to figure out what supplies to get in. So things like the oils, those come in a little bit more regular than some of the wicks do. And that is just with like cotton issues and basically supply issues around the world right now. Some of those things just take a while to get back in. And there's so many people that are buying them. They're just harder to keep in stock, and they're harder for suppliers and manufacturers to keep their vendors in stock, which is why I go to things like the Wicket kits, which is made by Design House. These things are great, they're local. So that brings me to things like the Wicket kits from Design House. I know these guys, I can get this stuff anytime I need it, and it's easy to keep that inventory in stock. Along with the candle care cards, the stickers, stuff like that. These are things that I can kind of keep in stock and on the website at all times to kind of keep that income coming in steady while I'm waiting for other stuff that may be another 2-3 weeks. But that's pretty much it with this one. I just wanted to give a quick update and I want to go do a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more in depth on the candle business, because I know a lot of people are doing this exact same thing. So if I can show some of my struggles, some of the things that I'm dealing with, I think it might help some people out there. And of course, where I'm getting this stuff also. I know I've let people know throughout the course of this video and throughout the lifetime of this channel, pretty much anything I do, I always let you guys know where I'm getting this stuff. So when I was doing candles, I'm getting my jars from Candle Science or Nature's Garden or Fillmore Container, anything like that. And of course, I intend to do that, and I have done that with the Candle Supply Company as well. So if you have any questions on any of the stuff that I'm doing, please let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, I just started getting a bunch of stuff in. I've got 400 pounds of oil. The oils are out now. They're just starting to ship over the last week. And if I didn't mention it in the previous video, what I'm trying to do with the oils is basically get a bunch of stuff. Over the years, a lot of people ask me, what are good oils to start out with? What are a good base of 4 to 6 cents that a beginner candle maker can kind of start out with? And those are the oils that I basically got in first, or the oils that are my favorites, the ones that I think do well and sell well, which is kind of the main thing I wanted to do with the oils, is basically just put kind of a collector's set or something. I don't even know what to call it, but it's basically a set that I think does well, or a set or fragrances that do well for me, and kind of sell those as a set for beginners. And one of those is the Spice Market, and I'll show you this one. So I just did this one. And one of those is Spice Market. This is an oil that I used years ago. It was discontinued on the sites. They stopped making it. Well, not actually stopped making it. A lot of the websites just stopped selling it. And it was one of my biggest sellers. It's one of my favorite ones of all time. It's a perfect fall and winter scent. So that was the first oil that I picked up. And I've got a bunch more like that one. Fragrances like Sex on the Beach or Caribbean Teakwood or just a basic vanilla. Some of these scents do really well, and they're ones that have worked well for me for years now making candles. And of course, these are all on the website right now at westsoundcandlesupply.com. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around. I'll show you kind of what I'm working with and the mess that I've got all around me right now that you can't see outside of the video. And of course, if you wanna see anything more like this one, as far as like behind the scenes, like what do you wanna see, I'm gonna go look at a property tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to film some of that so that I can show you guys kind of what I'm looking at, the areas that I'm looking at, and basically the process behind all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Subscribe to the channel, hit like on the video, and we'll see you in the next one. You can see these are all clamshells right here. Bags, boxes. I mean, it's anywhere I can put stuff at this point.